But first of all, our new segment we started last week, PB for 3. It's 3 minutes of a hard-hitting topic, something relevant or something coming, something that's going on current. It's supposed to be 3 minutes, but this one might be 5. And the reason is because it revolves around the Detroit Pistons, hometown, born and raised in Michigan, Piston fan my whole life, going way back really to the start of the Isaiah Thomas days. In 1981, I was 9 years old. And that's a long time ago. I just basically told you all my age, 52, almost 53. But they start tonight in the playoffs against the New York Knicks, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 versus 6. Real quick here about the Pistons, because these are some crazy numbers, 44 and 38. More wins this year than all combined for all of the last 2 seasons, which was 31. First time or the most wins since 2015, 2016, when they also had 44 wins. The most, tied for, the most since 07, 08, where they had 59 wins. What's really crazy is last year was the worst season in terms of victories in the 77-year Detroit Piston history. Think about that for a moment. You went from worst to the best, or tied for the most amount of wins in basically 15, 16 years. What a turnaround. Tom Gores finally got it right with Trajan Langdon. Trajan Langdon got it right with J.J. Bickerstaff. A few years ago, they got it right with Cade Cunningham. Again, I'll admit I was wrong. I didn't think he was going to turn out to be what he is. Thought he was lazy coming out of Oklahoma State, but he's proven me wrong. He is a legitimate top 10 superstar. Yeah, you heard me. Top 10 superstar in the NBA right now. And I think he's maybe 60% reached his potential. I think he's got a lot more upside to go. So the Knicks, a lot of people think that the Pistons are going to really do well against them. I personally, as much as I'm going to be rooting for them, I personally don't think it is a great matchup for them. And here's why. The Pistons don't have a reliable number 2 scorer. After Cade Cunningham, it gets really kind of murky in terms of who can handle the ball if he's taken out of the game in any way, shape, or form. You could say Jalen Duran, but a lot of Jalen's game comes from transition. It comes as a result of Cade, comes on lobs. Jalen is not a type of guy that could create offense, right? Tobias Harris is basically your second option. That's not a solid second option. 32-year-old guy, limited, can't really put the ball on the floor, can slash a little bit, can shoot a little bit, but again, plays off of Cade and what's going on there. Cade can't play 48 minutes, right? When Cade's off the floor, who's going to step up? There's just not a whole lot there, and I just don't think they're fully developed yet because there's just not that second and third scorer. So while I think that they're young, they're gritty, they're talented, you get in a running game with them, they can really hurt you now. And I think the Knicks know that. The Knicks got to have a lot of players, and they have multiple options that they can go to at any time in the game. Everybody knows Jalen Brunson. Everybody knows Karl Anthony Towns. Both can get theirs basically whenever they want. Brunson can get to the hole. He can do anything around the perimeter, mid-range game, long-range game, penetration, get others involved. He's a really complete player, and I still think he's growing, and this is kind of his moment to really shine. Karl Anthony Towns can do what he needs to do inside. Duran will have his hands full, and Towns can come out 25 feet, and he can knock down the shots. He's going to pull Duran away from the basket. When you look at guys like Mikal Bridges, very versatile player. Josh Hart, one of the most versatile players really that I could remember in a long time at 6'4", the way he could rebound. He almost has 10 rebounds per game average. And Anunoby is another guy, 18, 19 points. They got a couple guys off the bench. I think their depth will show through. The Pistons will struggle in some instances, and they will also show what I think we've all seen is it's an evolution of a hot young team. They are one of the best young teams in all of basketball. I believe they're a couple of players away from truly contending and making a run in. I think what we saw this year is the first step. Overall, 44 and 38. You saw upside. You saw them get to 10, 11 games over 500. At one point, end the season at 6 games over 500, which is a little bit skewed because they didn't play they didn't play their players there at the end. But I think this is the beginning of it. Now this playoff, compete, show what you can do. Overall, though, I have the Knicks winning this in 6, and there's a chance it could be 5. I know that's not what Detroit fans want to hear, but I'm not. I have to come from a perspective of what makes sense when you look at the whole picture. I don't see them having enough. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I hope they pull an upset and somebody else steps up, and it's like kind of a star is born before our eyes type of thing. Could Tim Hardaway step up and have a couple of big games? Sure. Could Osser step up and have some big games to be near triple doubles? Sure. But ultimately, I think the Knicks have too much, and so the Lions, I'll get to them too. The Pistons, though, I think I think this is a great stepping stone, and we'll look for more of a deeper run next year after potential, nice draft acquisition and a free agent or two to really boost the scoring load aside from Cade. If you really put somebody next to Cade, then you really, really have something. I just don't think they're there.